When this B-24 crashed in the frozen wilderness of Alaska, its pilot was supposed to die within hours. Temperatures far below zero. No survival training. No food. No rescue in sight. Yet against every rule of war, medicine, and probability, one man would survive 81 days completely alone in one of the harshest environments on Earth. This story begins in December 1942, in the Alaska Territory, where the war most people never talk about was quietly claiming lives. Here, in the vast emptiness between Nome and the Seward Peninsula, the United States Army Air Force's 11th Air Force was fighting a different kind of enemy: weather, distance, and isolation. Little did they know, what happened next would become one of the most astonishing survival stories of the Second World War. By late 1942, Alaska had become a front line. The Japanese occupation of Attu and Kiska earlier that year had shocked American planners and forced a rapid expansion of air operations across the Aleutians and mainland Alaska. Operating from crude airfields carved into permafrost, the 28th Bombardment Group heavy flew long-range patrols in the consolidated B-24D Liberator, a 4-engine heavy bomber designed for altitude and distance, not Arctic survival. One of those aircraft belonged to the 404th Bomb Squadron, tasked with reconnaissance and navigation training flights across western Alaska. Its pilot was 2nd Lieutenant Robert Thompson, 23 years old, newly qualified, and like many young airmen of the time, confident in his aircraft but dangerously underprepared for what the Arctic could do to a man. Thompson had received no formal cold weather survival training. Most crews hadn't. The war was moving too fast. On December 20th, 1942, Thompson's B-24 lifted off into a pale winter sky on what should have been a routine flight. Fuel was calculated. Weather reports were acceptable. But Alaska never forgives mistakes. By 1400 hours, visibility began to deteriorate. A low-pressure system rolled in from the Bering Sea, bringing snow squalls and sudden wind shifts. The B-24's instruments began to ice. Navigation became guesswork. At 15,000 feet, the Liberator was burning fuel faster than expected. Engine temperatures fluctuated. The horizon disappeared. By 1530 hours, Thompson realized he was lost. Radio transmissions were garbled. The magnetic compass, unreliable at high latitudes, wandered. Below him stretched hundreds of miles of white nothingness. The decision came quickly. With fuel nearly exhausted and daylight fading, Thompson brought the B-24 down through cloud and snow, searching desperately for flat terrain. What he found instead was rough tundra, broken by frozen riverbeds and hidden ridges. At approximately 1,610 hours, the aircraft struck the ground. The impact tore the landing gear away. The left wing collapsed. The fuselage skidded violently across the frozen earth before coming to rest in silence. Thompson was alive. Barely. The temperature outside was estimated at minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. He had no idea where he was, and no one knew where to look. The first night nearly killed him. Inside the shattered fuselage, Thompson tore insulation from the walls and wrapped himself in parachute fabric. He found a small emergency kit, meant for days, not months. Matches, a pistol, a few flares, minimal rations. By morning, frostbite had already claimed parts of his hands. When he stepped outside, reality set in. No trees, no landmarks, no sound except wind. He salvaged what he could: canned food, wiring, metal panels, and returned to the wreck. The B-24 became his shelter. Days turned into weeks. Thompson rationed food to almost nothing. He melted snow for water, using engine parts as makeshift stoves. He hunted small animals with improvised traps, often unsuccessfully. His weight dropped rapidly. Weakness followed. At night, the cold crept in, relentless and absolute. Sleep became dangerous. He forced himself to wake every hour to avoid freezing. Search aircraft flew overhead sometimes. He fired flares when he could. Most went unseen. By day 40, Thompson was hallucinating. By day 60, he could barely stand. Yet he kept a routine. Repair what could be repaired. Signal when able. Survive one more day. Against impossible odds, sheer determination kept him alive.